Alright, in 2019 we did a Pokemon XD obtainable Pokemon tier list. People seemed to enjoy it. It still gets views on YouTube, which makes me happy, so we will go ahead and do a Pokemon Colosseum obtainable Pokemon tier list in the same vein. Let me think. So, we can go over our criteria like last time. I've updated the image here. Let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? Yes, okay. Also, once again, I'm doing this live on Twitch. I do have people in chat, and I will be consulting with them, but I'm not going to have chat on screen. Anyway. So, just like last time, our criteria is mostly unchanged. The tier list is based on how useful the Pokemon is during the main story of Pokemon Colosseum. This time we're considering up to Shadow Togetic. So we're counting like the Deep Colosseum in the post game, but we're not counting Mount Battle. We're also going to weigh how pretty heavily how useful they are in the final boss, since people seem to struggle with the final boss in Pokemon Colosseum. I do too. I found out recently it's actually very hard. Yeah. Assumes the player is trying to catch every Shadow Pokemon. Yep, so just like it says there, this is assuming that you're trying to catch every Shadow Pokemon on your first encounter. So Pokemon that come with like status afflicting moves like Thunder Wave or Sleep Powder, they're going to be tiered based on that, I guess, in their favor. It assumes the player is trying to complete the game at a decent pace, so not literally a speedrun, but like, yeah, just trying to get through the game at a decent pace so that you're not taking forever to beat the game. Generally, Pokemon that have high damage output, you know, they're gonna end up being tiered higher than Pokemon that are better at tanking, even though tanking can be a valid strategy. Finally, assumes the Master Ball glitch is not being used. I think, from what I've seen, most people like to use the Master Ball glitch in the end game, but I figure some people don't want to play with it, so I figure we should accommodate those people. And yes, Scissor is on the tier list. It's gonna go in F- tier, but yeah. Oh, actually, there should be an NA tier, that reminds me. Add a row below, there we go. Alright, where was I? Yeah, just to review the criteria. Criteria includes damage output, how well they can tank hits, generally speaking, how helpful they are in capturing Shadow Pokemon, how much time and effort it takes to make them useful, so you'll kind of see what I mean throughout this discussion. How much of the game they are available for, so Pokemon that are available early in the game are going to be rated higher than Pokemon that you get at the very end. And the criteria does not include how difficult they are to obtain and opportunity cost. So the difficulty to obtain them, that's basically just like, I'm not gonna knock, I don't even know what a good example would be. I'm not gonna knock like the dogs for being hard to catch. I think that makes sense. And then as far as opportunity costs goes, that basically just means I'm not gonna knock like Slugma for not being Entei, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, Slugma has plenty of other reasons to be bad. I don't have to knock it for also not being Entei. Yeah, so we're rating them all in a vacuum. Like, we're gonna rate Qwilfish and Croconaw as if Suicune doesn't, as if you've decided to not use Suicune. Someone in chat asks, is this assuming best possible IVs in nature? Thank you for asking that, Danny, because that's important. So there are some Pokemon that can be really good, but you have to be, like, you have to reset to make sure you get a good IV and a good nature. I can think of one big example of that, and we'll get to that, but yeah. There are some Pokemon where I think nature and IV doesn't matter as much, and then there are some where I think it matters a lot. So if nature and IV matter a lot to make them good, then I'm actually going to knock them for that. So instead of being A tier, they might be B tier. I think that's everything. I can show... Yeah, so this is just something I got from the description of the last tier list video. So this is just kind of like a an explanation for what the tiers mean. S tier is extremely useful and easy to use. A tier, very useful. Just going down the list, pretty useful, useful, limited utility, very limited utility. F tier has some utility, but not really worth the effort. And F- tier or G tiers just don't use these. And then NA is just Pokemon that you can't use in the main story. On that note, I'll go ahead and throw up the Pokemon that are not readily obtainable. We have Scizor and Mareep and Togepi, which I guess you get from, like, let's see, Gavin mentioned it earlier. Yeah, e-reader. Yeah, I'm assuming you don't have access to that, so there's that. Also, there are some Pokemon you get so late in the game that I don't think it's even worth tiering them, so I'm just going to get these out of the way real quick. Shuckle, and where'd he go? There we go. Good start. Alright, so I'm gonna basically go in order of when you obtain them. I have the list of Pokemon up on my other monitor here from Bulbapedia, so we can go in order pretty easily here. And we'll start with the starters, Espeon and Umbreon. So, Espeon, everybody likes using Espeon because it's very good. It comes with Confusion, and it learns Psybeam, usually like a little bit after you beat Mirror Bee. And then at level 47 it learns Psychic, so basically all throughout the game it has like a strong Psychic type move it can use. Just right away I'm just gonna say Espeon is S tier because you get him literally at the start of the game. He's fast, he has like 110 base speed, 130 base special attack, so even though Confusion and Psybeam have relatively low base power, like they still do a really decent amount of damage, just because Espeon has so much special attack. On that note, when you start the game, like, you may as well just restart until you get a good Espeon. Like, watching the opening cutscene takes like 2 minutes, I think, and like it's just worth it. You'll save time in the long run if you reset the game until you get like a decent Espeon. At least make sure you don't get one that has like a special attack lowering nature. So that's Espeon. Honestly, Espeon is so good that like, if you're not using Espeon, you're usually making it a point to not use him. Like, not using Espeon makes the game so much more inconvenient, because early on, right, for that first section of the game, you can only use Espeon, Umbreon, and Shadow Pokemon, and some of the Shadow Pokemon you can use are useful, but they constantly go into Hyper Mode, so just imagine, like, maybe you've decided not to use Espeon or Umbreon. If you're just using Shadow Pokemon, like, you're constantly having to deal with Hyper Mode. We're one Pokemon in and I'm already out of breath. Jesus Christ. Next up we have Umbreon. I think people's attitude towards Umbreon has changed over time because people have realized that he just kinda sits there next to Espeon and, like, takes hits, it uses Bite. You know, it's a staff move, so it does some damage, but not a whole lot. If he outspeeds, he can flinch with Bite, which is neat. Generally, I personally don't like using Umbreon, just because I don't like using dedicated tanks. They just make the playthrough take longer, generally. But in Colosseum, I will say, like, it is nice to have a Pokemon like Umbreon who can just weaken Shadow Pokemon, because Umbreon's Bite will, like, very rarely kill things. So, Umbreon has some things going for him. He also learns Confuse Ray, which is good. I'm still gonna put him in B. I'm still gonna put him in B tier, though. That might seem low, but you'll find that the Pokemon in A tier are just very good. I think once A tier is filled out here, you'll understand why there's a gap between them and Umbreon. I think some people would put Umbreon even lower, honestly, but I'm gonna give him some benefit of the doubt, I guess, because he is really bulky. And having a dedicated tank, generally I don't like it, but the final boss in this game, it actually comes in handy. Having like a Pokemon that can just sit there and tank hits all day. Okay. Our first Shadow Pokemon we can catch is Makuhita. Fun fact, I have literally never used Makuhita. Oh yeah, so I didn't mention, my perspective coming into this is that, I've played Colosseum several times, not as much as XD, but I've played it several times. We played it just recently in preparation for this tier list video, I used some Pokemon that I haven't used before. But yeah, out of all my playthroughs, I have not used Makuhita. Makuhita! When you purify him, he has Foresight, Focus Energy, Vital Throw, and Cross Chop. Vital Throw is a pretty big deal, because it's like base 70 power, I think, and it's stab. Also, I think it never misses. The only downside is that he always goes last, but then Makuhita is so slow that he'll usually end up going last anyway. Makuhita is cool because literally right after you purify it, he'll evolve into Hariyama, so you get like a really pretty strong Pokemon that can deal pretty good damage and is bulky, like right after you purify it. Someone in chat reminded me, Numberette reminded me, yeah, he gets Guts. So the two abilities that Makuhita can get are Guts and Thick Fat, and honestly between them, I don't know which one is better. They're both pretty good, honestly. Maybe I'm crazy, but like I don't remember running into that many Ice-type moves in the game that are used against you. Maybe more so Fire, but yeah. If you want to go for like Guts shenanigans, you could like teach Toxic to your Umbreon and then have him use it on Makuhita with Guts. Cross Chop is also worth mentioning. It's like really high base power, but it's inaccurate. I really hate relying on moves like that, but it is really good damage output, so it's worth mentioning. It might be like the highest base power move you can get before you fight Mirror V, right? That's like 120 base power. I'll check it real quick. 100 base power, okay, and 80 accuracy. The accuracy is actually not that bad. I thought it was worse. It has high crit chance too. I'm gonna put Makuhita. I think Makuhita is a solid B tier. Once again, I think you'll find that like the Pokemon that fill out A tier are just really good, and even the Makuhita is also good. Just being a little bit slow, combined with kind of a limited move pool, leaves him in B tier, I think. Next up, you get your choice between Bayleef, Quilava, and Croconaw. You can only choose one. Let's rate Bayleef first. So, what's with NA? These are Pokemon that you can't really get in the main story, or if, like, Shuckle and Togetic could get at, like, the very end. So, if they're not in NA, then they're, like, here. What are the other three from? So apparently in Pokemon Colosseum there was like an e-reader thing where you could get these other three Pokemon, you could like catch them from new trainers. I've never even seen that before, but yeah. When you look at other obtainable Pokemon tier lists and just other like Shadow Pokemon lists, they're on there. So I wanted to put these in there so that people don't people don't comment about it in the YouTube comments. People are down on Bayleef. I can kind of see why. When you purify him, he has Sunny Day, Synthesis, Razor Leaf, and Body Slam. I really like Body Slam. If you watched the XD tier list video, you know I love Body Slam. So it's a 80 base power move. It's accurate. It can do paralysis. I like it a lot. Synthesis, kind of useless because you can just use healing items. Razor Leaf, hit all moves like Razor Leaf and Surf and Earthquake. More so Surf and Razor Leaf. I'm kind of down on them because in Colosseum their power gets cut because in double battles those moves have their power cut slightly. It's either like by a quarter or by a half, I can never remember, but yeah. You'll find that Bayleef's Razor Leaf doesn't do that much damage unless it's like quad effective. But I used Bayleef in my recent playthrough and he was actually really solid. He's bulky, he has high enough physical attack to where Body Slam is just a pretty reliable way to do damage. You can do Sunny Day and Solar Beam, you can get the Giga Drain TM from Fennex Stadium. Pretty good, overall. Okay, Quilava. Quilava, once you purify it, has Sunny Day, Smokescreen, Dig, and Flame Wheel. Having Flame Wheel is a pretty big deal, just because it's just a strong stab move you can use early in the game. Strong, it's okay, it's like 60 base power or something, I don't remember, but yeah. Typhlosion has really good offensive stats. It's just really good all around. I actually don't know exactly how to justify Quilava in A tier. I feel like it speaks for itself, honestly. You can also get the Fire Blast TM in the Under, and Fire Blast is pretty accurate relative to like Thunder and Blizzard. It has 85 accuracy, so Typhlosion with Fire Blast is pretty strong. The thing about Quilava is it evolves the latest and might not evolve upon purification. True. Wait, it's 36, right? Okay, yeah. Good point. If you use Quilava a lot early in the game, leading up to Mirror B, then I think he will evolve once you purify him, but yeah. He'll evolve like shortly after that. I guess one thing I can say about Bayleef, and also Croconaw, is that like right after you fight Mirror B, you go to Mount Battle, and like a bunch of those trainers have like Rock and Ground types, or just like Pure Ground types, a bunch of Pokemon that are weak to grass and water, so these two actually come in handy there quite a bit. Croconaw, once you purify him, Rain Dance, Scary Face, Bite, and Surf. Croconaw ends up with a lot of special attacks, which is awkward because Croconaw and Feraligatr both have higher physical attack and special attack. But his special attack is still decent, it's like 85 or something. It might just be like 80, but I don't know about Surf on Croconaw. Like I said, the damage on those moves gets cut in double battles, so I don't know how reliable that is as far as damage output goes. It's kind of a bummer you can't get like, I don't know, Waterfall or anything like that. But Feraligatr is just pretty good all-rounder. Let me look at his stats real quick. Oh yeah, Feraligatr has like 100 defense, 83 special defense. Yeah. Croconaw and Feraligatr pretty good. If Croconaw had like more physical moves it could use, and if it had like maybe a single target water type move, I would put it in A tier, but I think B tier is good. The next one in the list is Slugma. Slugma, bizarrely, gets Flamethrower as its 4th move, which is really strong. Slugma actually has like, I think 70 special attack, so combined with Flamethrower, it's actually not terrible damage output. It's just that Slugma is so slow and really squishy that using him for that first part of the game is going to be really hard, not to mention he's going to be completely useless against Mirror B. Yeah, once Slugma evolves, so okay, one thing in Slugma's favor is he gets Yawn, which is good. Pokemon that get sleep moves that are reliable, you know, we gotta give him credit for that. Once Slugma evolves into Macargo, I didn't know this until recently, it gains +10 in all stats except for defense and special defense, so like, you might be looking forward to it evolving so that it can do more damage, but then it just gets like 10 more special attack, and that's it. And Fire Rock is like a notoriously bad typing. It's quad weak to water, quad weak to ground, weak to fighting. It's just weak to everything, and it's gonna die a whole bunch, so Slugma goes in E tier. In my opinion. Flamethrower is like his saving grace. This game has like this weird sense of balancing where like the stronger Pokemon get worse moves, but then like the weaker Pokemon sometimes get stronger moves. It's weird how that works. Sometimes, not always. Noctowl gets Steel Wing, Hypnosis, Reflect, and Fly. If you look at Noctowl's stats, you'll find that they're actually kind of bad. He has high HP and high special defense. You would think he'd be like a little fast, but I think he only has like 70 speed, which, you know, he'll outspeed several things in just a normal in-game playthrough. But he won't, like, he's not super fast like Swella or anything like that. I'm kind of down on Noctowl just because his main attacking move is Fly, which takes 2 turns to use, and then Noctowl's physical attack is like really bad. It's like 40. Let me check. Noctowl has 50 attack. Okay. He has higher special attack than attack, and it's like, why? Why did they do this? What Noctowl has going for him is that he has Hypnosis, so sleep moves are always good. You can use them early in the game to help you catch out a Pokemon. He has Reflect, and I'm pretty sure he can learn Light Screen through TM, so that might be like Noctowl's saving grace, is that he can set up screens, and it's also like a pretty good special tank. So I think D tier is pretty good for him. it might seem low, but I think once you see the Pokemon in C tier, it will like make more sense. You'll look at the Pokemon in C tier and be like, oh yeah, they're definitely better than Noctowl. Flaaffy. Flaaffy is a complete baller. For some reason, they gave it Thunderbolt once you purify it, which is just really weird. Like, usually the Pokemon in this game just don't get moves that good once you purify them. Thunderbolt is like 95 base power, 100 accuracy. It's insanely strong, and it evolves right after you purify it too, because Flaaffy evolves at 30, so you get an Ampharos, like right after you beat Mirror B. Ampharos is bulky, but kind of slow. Actually very slow. Ampharos has 40 base speed. But Stab Thunderbolt is just so strong. I just did a playthrough without Ampharos, and I just found myself really missing having an electric type Pokemon that I could use against water types. Flaaffy is an easy A tier. He also gets Thunder Wave, so just a really stacked, like, base kit. You could call it a base kit, like in Fae. Super good. Nothing else to say about Flaaffy. The good Pokemon are easier to talk about, because they just go up here, and that's it. Flaaffy, probably A tier, evolves right upon purification. Tapping Assault, gets decent stab. Yeah. I guess one thing about Flaaffy, only one weakness, which is good, but it's ground, and there are some trainers in this game that spam Earthquake, so just look out for that. Give him Protect. I guess maybe one thing is that, like, his move pool is kind of limited. I don't know what else he gets besides, like, electric type moves. I guess I can check that real quick. But honestly, Stab Thunderbolt is all you need. Focus Punch. Brick Break. Oh yeah, Ampharos gets, like, some physical moves, doesn't it? I kind of forgot about that. He has, like, 75 base attack, too, so it's not even that bad. Okay, I was wrong. Ampharos has 55 speed. Where did I get 40 from? Whatever. Okay, so Ampharos is faster than I thought. Well, anyway, there you go. There's Flaaffy. Skiploom is next. Gets Synthesis, Sleep Powder, Cotton Spore, and Mega Drain. Synthesis kind of useless because you can just heal using items. He evolves right after you purify him because I think Jumpluff evolves at like 27, so you get Jumpluff right off the bat. Jumpluff is fast, but not particularly strong. You're not going to get any good flying type moves to use. You're basically, like, if you want to get like good damaging moves on him, you basically have to go get the Giga Drain TM and the Solar Beam TM. He works really well if you have a team that's using Sunny Day, so if you have like Quilava, Bayleef, Entei, Skiploom can work really well in that kind of team. The main selling point for Skiploom is Sleep Powder. It's the most reliable sleep move in the game. It's like 75 accuracy, which is still bad, but it's still more reliable than Hypnosis, and it takes only one turn to use, unlike Yawn. So for that reason alone, Skiploom can be A tier. He's just super useful for catching Shadow Pokemon, and even in fights where there aren't Shadow Pokemon, like, still, just being able to put a Pokemon to sleep, like, right off the bat is really good. So I'm definitely a big fan of Skiploom. Basically it for Jumpluff. Yeah, Jumpluff's attacking stats are really bad. Like, even with Solar Beam, he's not going to do that much damage. You need, like, yeah, you need, like, Stab Solar Beam to do anything. Quagsire. Mudshot, Amnesia, Slam, and Surf. Slam sucks, I hate it. It has really bad accuracy for some reason. Surf. Quagsire's special attack is not that good, so you'll find that Surf won't do that much damage unless it's like a super effective move. But Quagsire's saving grace is okay. He has two. He's really bulky. Quagsire will basically never die unless you leave him in against a grass type Pokemon, which I did several times, forgetting that he's quad weak to grass. But yeah, only one weakness, so he's bulky, doesn't die unless you're stupid like me, and he gets Earthquake through level up at 42, which is nutty. So I think Quagsire gets to be an A tier. I think he's like kinda borderline, maybe. One dumb tip I can give you is that you can give him Quick Claw, and he will occasionally go first with that, so there you go. Amnesia looks nice on paper, but I never found myself using it, so... So there's that. Oh yeah, does Quagsire learn Blizzard through TM? That's worth mentioning. If a Pokemon can get Blizzard through TM, then I'm gonna give them credit for that. Purely because of Salamence. He does, okay. But his special attack is... this is 65. Next up, the last Pokemon you get from Pyrite Square is Misdreavus. Pure Ghost, you'll find that the AI is pretty dumb, so Misdreavus will frequently get targeted with like normal type attacks, fighting type attacks, and ground type attacks. Misdreavus is cool because he can synergize well with Pokemon that learn Earthquake, like Quagsire, so it's pretty good for that. Gets Confuse Ray, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he also gets Shadow Ball. And just having that stab Shadow Ball early in the game is actually pretty nice. Misdreavus's attacking stats probably aren't that good. I'll check them real quick, so I don't give fake news. Misdreavus has 60 attack, 85 special attack, 85 speed. So, physical attack is pretty low, but the stab on Shadow Ball will kind of make up for it. And then Psybeam will be okay because Misdreavus has higher special attack. Misdreavus, honestly, pretty good. Confuse Ray is helpful. It's just a good utility Pokemon because you can keep it in against Pokemon that are spamming Earthquake, so yeah, we like Misdreavus. Ghost is awkward because, like, Shadow Ball just being a physical attack kind of ruins everything for them. It works for Bennett and no one else. Furret, 85 HP, 76 attack, 90 speed, so Furret's pretty fast. He'll outspeed most things in an in-game playthrough, honestly. What's really cool about Furret is that I think he might be the only Pokemon in the game that gets Follow Me. I think Togetic gets it too, but that's like at the end of the game. So yeah, Furret gets Follow Me through Level Up. And that's just a really good... Well, okay, I don't want to exaggerate. It's a pretty good utility move to have in Colosseum and XD because you can just guarantee that your other Pokemon doesn't get hit. So it's pretty cool. 76 attack combined with stab strength is okay. He also comes with Helping Hand, which is like genuinely pretty useful. So I'll give him some credit for that. Once you Purify him, he gets Iron Tail, which is kind of a meme, but it gives him something to do against like rock types, so that's cool, I guess. Furret is C tier. I think it's another example where like it might seem kind of low. I think some people might want Furret higher, but I think the B tier Pokemon speak for themselves, and I think they're generally better than Furret. As purely for Follow Me, extremely based. There he is. Yanma. Once you Purify him, gets Detect, Supersonic, Sonic Boom, and Uproar. Yanma is awful. Just terrible stats, no stab, bug type moves. If he got like Signal Beam, that would be kind of neat, but he doesn't, so he sucks. Yanma, straight up F tier. F minus tier. Wait, no, hold on. Let me look at my notes. Yanma, F tier. You could debate whether or not he's literally worse than Slugma. I guess Sonic Boom could be useful for weakening Shadow Pokemon, but by the time you're done using Sonic Boom, Yanma's gonna be dead, so yeah, I don't think we'd spend too much time on Yanma. Remoraid is a good meme because, bizarrely, you catch it at level 20, when all the other Pokemon you're catching are like 30. So I'm not sure what's going on there. We actually did a playthrough in like 2016 where I used Remoraid, and the way I made it work was just by putting Remoraid in the daycare and doing like the idle grinding exploit where your character just walks back and forth. So I left that running overnight, and Remoraid got like 14 level ups or whatever, so that's how I got him caught up. So like I was saying earlier, that's like it's a lot of work to make Remoraid good since he's so underleveled, so that's gonna go against him quite a bit. But once you get him, you know, leveled up and he's an Octillery, like Octillery is genuinely pretty good. Getting Stab, Bubble Beam, or Octazooka is pretty cool, just because there aren't a whole lot of like single target water type moves you can use in this game. I think it also gets like Psybeam, so that's kind of neat. It gets Fire Blast, which is cool. Yeah, Octillery is like genuinely a pretty cool Pokemon. I think it also gets Aurora Beam, which is a pretty big deal because of Evis's Salamence. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video yet, but yeah, Ice-type Pokemon and Ice-type moves are very, what's the word, scarce in Colosseum, so any Pokemon that gets Aurora Beam or Ice Beam is going to get bumped for that. So Octillery does learn Aurora Beam, but it's like 22, so I think he misses it actually. I'm not sure though. Maybe Remoraid gets it? Oh, okay, yeah. So Remoraid will actually learn Aurora Beam before it evolves, so there you go. And if you grind before the final boss, then you can actually get Ice Beam on Octillery before the final boss. So, kind of a shame that Remoraid doesn't start higher level. It could actually be like at least a B tier, maybe an A tier, but it's got to be C tier, I think. Especially since, like, you know, that exploit I used to get it caught up in levels, like, you could just argue you could do that for literally any Pokemon and it would make them much better, so Remoraid gets to be C tier. Mantine. In the Let's Play I did of Pokemon Colosseum back in 2011, I actually used Mantine, and I seem to recall having a bad experience with it. Maybe I just got a bad one, but yeah. Comes with Wing Attack, Supersonic, Bubble Beam, Takedown. Bubble Beam is actually pretty cool, because once again, single target water type moves are neat in this game. Wing Attack kind of sucks because Mantine has pretty bad physical attack. I want to say it's like 40. I'll check it real quick here. Mantine has 40 physical attack, yep. But Mantine's big thing is that it just has like a million special defense. So he's got that going for him. Pretty reliable tank. And yeah, Gavin has a good point. He's actually pretty useful against like Dakem, since his Pokemon are like quad weak to water. And Mantine should outspeed all of them, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's valid. Bulky has some moves it can use. If it had like Confuse Ray instead of Supersonic, that would be nice. Let me check real quick and see if he gets Aurora Beam. Okay, he does not. But he gets Blizzard through level up, or through TM, so yeah. If you're wondering, if it's been a while since you played Colosseum, you might not know, there's no way to get the Ice Beam TM in Colosseum, so you're stuck using Blizzard. So, Mantine can learn Blizzard, so I'll put him in C tier. Qwilfish is a meme. High physical attack, low special attack, pretty fast, comes with Pin Missile, Minimize, Poison Sting, and Surf. Surf might sound nice, but once again, its damage gets cut, and Qwilfish has pretty low special attack, so ends up not being very strong. You can get the TM for Sludge Bomb from the Under Colosseum, and that could actually be pretty good on Qwilfish if you want to like do a weird Swift Swim sweeper team. I don't know. Okay, that's true. You can get, okay, yeah, that's, I completely forgot. You can get Ice Beam from Mount Battle, but, what do you call it? It takes way too long to get enough Poke Coupons to get those TMs, so I just kind of, like, forget about them completely. Does Qwilfish get Intimidate? Hold on. Swift Swim and Poison Point. I would say if you are using Qwilfish, I would actually make sure you don't get Poison Sting or Poison Point as its ability, because if a Shadow Pokemon uses Shadow Rush on you, it could poison itself, and that could be bad. Qwilfish, I'm sorry, he's got to be E tier. He's just not that good. Meditite, super squishy, like 60 speed, not very high attacking stats, not very good on paper, but its ability is Pure Power, which literally doubles its attack. So, if you can get a Meditite with a high attack stat, like a good attack boosting nature and a good attack IV, then a high jump kick on Meditite will actually be really good. I I think Meditite, you could honestly make a case for Meditite being A tier, but I had a bad experience where I tried using Medicham, and we just got one with like a really low attack stat, and it just came up short so often. So, yeah. Since you have to like go out of your way to make sure you get a good one, I think that justifies putting it in B tier. But yeah, if you can get a good Medicham, like spamming High Jump Kick is so good. It'll miss occasionally, but it hits often enough, I think. Next up is Dunsparce. Okay, hold on. One last note from Meditite. You do have to baby it a little bit since it evolves at like 37, so just keep that in mind. Okay, anyway. Dunsparce. I like Dunsparce. It gets the Ring Race, which is a good ability, but I don't know if you can combo it with Headbutt in this game. I'm gonna check that real quick. He doesn't learn Headbutt? That's crazy. Headbutt is just absent from his learn pool. Or learn set, that's crazy. Dunsparce gets Spite, Glare, Yawn, and Takedown. Glare and Yawn are pretty good for, you know, catching Shadow Pokemon, so that's valid. Takedown is a good stab move, I guess, but Dunsparce is going to be E tier, I think. Don't have much to say about that boy. I think Dunsparce, hold on. Okay, 65 special attack, and he can learn Blizzard through TM. However, Salamence, or like any of Evis's Pokemon, can probably kill Dunsparce before it gets a chance to use Blizzard, so I don't know if I can actually give it a boost for learning Blizzard. I think he stays in E tier. Swablu, okay, I think this one will be an unpopular opinion. So Swablu gets Mirror Move, Sing, Safeguard, and Fly. Safeguard can actually be good a couple times in the game. There are some trainers that just spam like, you know, Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I think people gravitate towards using Swablu and Vibrava in this game because they're like dragon types. But I'm kind of down on using Swablu and Altaria. Swablu needs to be babied a little bit until it evolves into Altaria. And once it evolves, it's very bulky. And he flies, so he synergizes with, you know, Earthquake, which is good. He also gets Sing. Very inaccurate, but you figure it's the same as Hypnosis, so. Gets Fly. I was saying earlier, I don't like how Fly takes 2 turns. It's just kind of annoying. It levels slow, I think, so it does require a bit of babying. Wait, is that true? Does it have the low level curve? Or slow level curve? I guess he is a dragon type. Hold on. Experience growth is erratic? I think that is slower, actually, right? That's like slower than the starters. Okay, so Swablu and Altaria may or may not have the slower XP gain, kind of like the legendaries do. Not as bad as those guys, but yeah. I think Swablu has like around the same utility as Noctowl, so that's where he's going to end up. I know it seems kind of weird to have him lower than Mantine, but yeah. This is where I'm going to put Swablu. That's the fastest XP group? Wait, really? I don't know anything. Only 600,000 to 100? Oh, weird. That was wrong. So Swablu and Altaria gain level super quick. Don't listen to me. Alright, whatever. Wait, hold on. How fast is Altaria? Altaria is 80 speed? Hold on. Yeah, 80 speed, pretty bulky. Gets Ice Beam but not Blizzard, pretty cringe. Gets Fire Blast, that's cool. Okay, fine. Altaria, Swablu can be C tier. I'll allow it. Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo's cool because he comes with Rock Slide, and that's like basically the best move he could have. He has 100 physical attack, gets Stab on Rock Slide. He's just super slow. He has a lot of physical defense to help him survive, but yeah, Definitely a good candidate for Quick Claw. It's kind of a shame because, like, Rock Slide has that effect where it can flinch, but Sudowoodo is so slow that realistically you're not going to flinch pretty much anything unless you activate Quick Claw. I think, like, he has the potential to have good damage output, it's just that he's so slow. And he's weak to some common types, so I think D tier is kind of fair. Next up is Hitmontop. I really go back and forth on Hitmontop. I used it in my Let's Play all the way back then. Once again, I seem to recall having a bad experience with it. He gets Intimidate, which is a really big deal. Intimidate is like very valuable in Colosseum and XD, so he gets points for that. He gets Triple Kick, Rapid Spin, Focus Energy, and Agility. Rapid Spin is completely useless. Basically, you could use it to weaken Shadow Pokemon, but like, it's so weak that you'll have to use it like 5 times for it to add up. But yeah, Intimidate's a pretty big deal. You can get the Brick TM for him, I think, from the Pyrite Colosseum. So that's a little more reliable than Triple Kick. Let's see, let me check his learn set real quick. I will say there is just some like novelty value in like being able to use Hitmontop because there aren't a lot of games where you can use him. He learns Detect and Endeavor, so that's cool. I think, yeah, Hitmontop is like what's the word? A hesitant B tier. Yeah, I think he's better than these guys, so that's fair. He can be B tier. I think like a good Medicham is like outright better than Hitmontop, but once again with Meditite you have to baby it for a bit, and you have to make sure you get a good one. So, oh yeah, just to loop back to Meditite real quick. If you have spare money in Colosseum, what you can do is you can buy proteins from Agate Village and give them to Medicham, just because they have like double the effect because Pure Power doubles his attack. So that's just something you can do with your excess money. We're already at Entei. You can already guess where the dogs are going to end up on the tier list. That's right, F-. Entei comes with Sunny Day, Leer, Bite, and Fire Blast. Once you purify it and level it up just once, he learns Stomp, which is actually pretty useful because that's just a physical attack he can use. He has higher physical attack and special attack, so it's kind of a shame because he doesn't get very many physical attacks to use. He cannot learn Earthquake through TM, so he's kind of stuck using Stomp. But Stomp can flinch, so that's actually like genuinely pretty good. Bite is good just because if you're not using Umbreon, then you might not have a Dark type move on your team. Fire Blast is okay, just inaccurate. Entei actually learns Flamethrower through level up at 51. It's just that with the slow XP gain, like you kind of have to go out of your way to make sure he gets it before the end game. So, but yeah, I mean, Flamethrower through level up is a pretty big deal. So, with all that in mind, also keeping in mind that he's just like, he's a legendary and he has high stats. He is A tier. You can make the argument for S tier, but I don't know, I feel like S tier is reserved for Espeon, so. Ledian sucks. Baton Pass, Safeguard, Supersonic, Comet Punch. Ledian, I want to say Ledian has 35 attack. Let me check. 35 attack, 55 special attack. The only stat that he has is special defense. So yeah, you'll find that when you're fighting Ledian and Colosseum, like Espeon's psychic moves won't do anything to it because he just has a bunch of special defense. He can learn the screens through TM, and you can buy the screen TMs at the Under. I forgot to mention that. So you could get him in the screens, and he can do that. But otherwise, he has basically no way to do damage. No way at all. He gets like the Giga Drain TM and Solar Beam, which I actually didn't know. So you can use that, I guess. Does he go all the way to F tier? I feel like he does, right? Yeah. Bug type's not doing well so far. Suicune. Rain Dance, Leer, Gust, and Surf. Interesting tidbit about Suicune is that if you catch it later in the game, he has Hydro Pump instead of Surf. But Suicune is like the only water type in this game that has like high enough special attack to where its Surf is actually pretty good. Let me check real quick. I want to say it's like 100 special attack. 90 special attack. Okay, so it's actually only a little better than than for Alligator, but Suicune is way bulkier, and he gets Aurora Beam through level up, I'm pretty sure. And that's a huge deal against Evis. So, for those reasons, easy A tier. Evis's Salamence fucked me up so much that, like, having access to frickin' Aurora Beam of all things is, like, a huge deal to me. Gust is kind of useless. You can use it to weaken Shadow Pokemon, but that's basically it. Okay, coming up here we have some Pokemon that I've just never used, so I'm not sure how to feel about them. Gligar, physical tank, sort of, has Feint Attack, Sand Attack, Poison Sting, and Slash. I think his physical attack is decent, so he's got that. I think he's kind of slow too. He can learn Earthquake, and he can also synergize with Pokemon that use Earthquake, so that's cool, I guess. But I've never used him, so I'm not even sure. And yeah, it's a good point that Numberat brought up. At like this part of the game, like after you catch Suicune, like you're basically in the latter half of the game at that point, almost. So availability starts to be like a more major factor. Gligar is gonna be. If he came earlier in the game, I think he'd be like a good D tier, but I think he ends up in E tier. I think Gligar with Stab Earthquake could, or like with Stab Earthquake could be okay. Let me just check and make sure he doesn't get that through level up. I don't want to underrate Gligar. God forbid. 105 defense, 85 speed. Okay, I was wrong about him being slow. I was dead ass, just wrong. Screech is pretty good. No Earthquake. So, if you want Earthquake, you have to use the TM. And I don't think you get the Aerial Ace TM in Colosseum. I think it's just not in the game, which is great game design. Stantler. I was saying earlier, Intimidate is a pretty big deal, so Stantler's going to get some points for that. He comes with Astonish, Hypnosis, Leer, Takedown. Hypnosis is a good sleep move. Stantler has good offensive stats. He's got like, I think 85 attack and 95 speed, or the other way around. Watching this live must be frustrating, because I just keep waiting until I pull up the stats. Okay, yeah, 95 attack, 85 speed. So yeah, like Stab Takedown on Stantler is like genuinely pretty good. You do get the return TM, but Raising Happiness in Colosseum and XD is not fun, unless you do like the idle walking exploit. So return is not super viable on him. If he, I don't know, man, if he had like a better attacking move he could use besides Takedown that didn't do recoil, maybe he could be like A tier, but being late in the game kind of brings him down too. I think Hypnosis combined with Intimidate lands him in B tier. I might be biased because we just used Stantler, but yeah. Oh yeah, Stantler also learns some good TMs. He learns Earthquake and he learns Shadow Ball. Next up is Piloswine. Gets Endure, Odor Sleuth, Dig, and Blizzard. Piloswine's special attack is real bad, so Blizzard is not going to do anything. 60 special attack. Okay, so it's not completely abysmal, but I don't know. With Blizzard's attack being split or being cut, I feel like it's just not going to do that much damage. 100 base attack though, that's pretty good. He does not learn Earthquake through level up, but he's pretty bulky. Ice Ground is like not the best defensive type though, so I don't actually know what to think about Piloswine. He might be one of the stronger like Earthquakers in the game. There aren't a lot of ground types that have 100 physical attack. I think he's E tier. Once again, if he were earlier in the game, maybe he could be D tier or C tier, but yeah, I don't know. I could actually see a case for D tier. The thing is that he's so slow that like he's gonna die before he can use Blizzard on Evis, so I think he's weak to Brick Break, and that's what Evis's Salamence has. Sneasel is a meme. Very fast, terrible typing. He gets Icy Wind, Fury Swipes, Screech, and Feint Attack. Icy Wind's actually kinda okay. It's like 55 base power. The damage gets split because it's a hit-all move, but it has the effect where it lowers speed. So it's actually like a pretty okay move. I don't know, man. Sneasel is just weird, where like it's an Ice Dark type with good physical attack, even though Ice and Dark are special types in Gen 3, so I'm not really sure what to do with Sneasel. I think Sneasel is an E tier. Also, Sneasel, like he's got to be pretty squishy, right? I have not committed Sneasel's base stats to memory, but I gotta imagine. Yeah, 55 defense, 75 special defense, 35 special attack. So yeah, Icy Wind and Feint Attack are just not going to do that much. Very high speed though. If you really wanted to, you could outspeed Evis's Pokemon and use Icy Wind on them and slow them down. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. He gets Slash at 50, which, like at that point, you're basically at the end. So I think Sneasel is E tier. Apom, Baton Pass, Tickle, Fury Swipes, Swift, just he's F tier. I don't think I have to elaborate on that much. If he had Helping Hand, maybe he could be E tier, but Tickle Pog. What does Tickle even do? Is it just lower attack? Tickle lowers attack and defense. Wow, that's pretty good. How fast is Apom? 85 speed. Apom has 2 abilities that are completely useless. Well, actually, I think Pickup can activate in Colosseum, right? Because I think Pickup can activate in XD. Yeah, not looking too good for Apom. The best thing Apom can do is, like, since it can outspeed things, it can use, like, Screech and, Tickle. I just realized you missed Plusle. Oh, I did. Okay, we'll go back and do him. Okay, so after you beat Mirror B, you get Plusle. He is level 13. He is going to be completely useless unless you grind him at Mount Battle or something, or give him the XP share. But if you give him the XP share, like, he's just going to be sitting in your party like a parasite, just sapping all the XP until you get to, like, the end game. Plusle is definitely not worth it, in my opinion. He does get trade XP. That's a good point. Thank you for reminding me. He gets trade XP, and additionally, he gets Helping Hand. So, I don't know. Maybe it evens out. Maybe he averages out to, like, C tier. What if, like, I posted this somewhere on the internet, like on a subreddit, and I just did, like, this, and I waited to see, like, if people noticed? Like I said, Gavin in chat says, like I said, Duking literally went to Route 109 and did no training on him. Murkrow. Murkrow is tragic because its attacking stats are actually pretty good. They're like comparable to Stantler. He gets Feint Attack, Nightshade, and Fly. Nightshade is pretty good for weakening Shadow Pokemon, so you gotta respect that. I don't believe he gets Hypnosis or anything like that, so he doesn't have that going for him. Problem is, he's very squishy, and you get him late in the game, so he could really go back and forth between these two. I think he might get Confuse Ray. If he gets Confuse Ray, he gets to be E tier. That's the qualifier. He does not get Confuse Ray. What a loser. He gets Taunt. Actually, no, he doesn't. He misses Taunt. Like I said, what a loser. He gets Shadow Ball and Steel Wing. Okay, well. Anyway, that's Murkrow. Okay, I was looking forward to this. In the XD tier list, I made an error. I underrated Pineco. Not because Pineco was a good tank, but because I underrated Explosion and Self-Destruct. They are genuinely super useful moves because, just as an example, like in the Colosseum challenges, you get healed between each round. So literally just start each round with like Espeon with Protect and Fortress with Explosion, and like that's it, 2 Pokemon down. And you can do that in the main story too. You don't have to do it in the Colosseum challenges. It's just you have to kind of revive him a couple times. But yeah, his other moves are bad, not even worth mentioning. Rapid Spin, whatever. Protect, who cares? Literally, just because of Explosion, like, he goes from being, like, down here to being, like, up here. I don't think he belongs with these guys, though. I don't know, man. Like, in our playthrough we just did, like, we used Fortress quite a bit, just spamming Explosion. So, like, definitely more useful than these guys. I like it. Now there's a better distribution here. It's perfect. The B stands for boom. Exactly right. And S stands for Espeon. It's perfect. Ariados. Starts off with Spiderweb, Scary Face, Leech Life, and Sludge Bomb. If you asked me what Spiderweb did, I would not be able to tell you, so let me look that up real quick. Does anybody know what Spiderweb does? Rhetorical question. Okay, Spiderweb. Ensnares the foe to stop it from fleeing or switching. The AI in Colosseum does, like, occasionally switch. Very infrequently, so you could use Ariados for that. Ariados has pretty good physical attack, actually. It's like 95? 90. Very poor speed, though. But, I mean, if you can get off a stab Sludge Bomb, which he comes with, that's actually pretty strong. It's just that he comes so late in the game, it's like, why even bother? So, Ariados is an unfortunate F tier. I think if he came earlier in the game and he had Signal Beam, I would rate him higher. Granbull. Granbull has big attack, like 120. He comes with strength, which is honestly pretty decent. That's all he needs. 120 attack, 45 speed. I think his bulk is like good enough to where he's not like completely helpless though. He actually has 90 HP, so Granbull actually not that bad. Also, I think he can learn Hyper Beam. Are we at Real Gam yet? No. We're like getting towards the end of the Pokemon Lab. Yeah, Granbull. Yeah, he's just slow. That's basically his only downside. I guess his move pool is kind of limited too, like you're just using Strength and Hyper Beam. I would bet that he gets Brick Brick too, but I think he gets to be C tier, right? That's fair. Oh, he also has Intimidate, right? So yeah, definitely C tier. Maybe B minus, but I like C tier. Oh, I forgot to put Ho-Oh down here. Okay, another Pokemon that I'm kind of down on, a lot like Swablu. Vibrava is exciting at first because it's like you catch it at 43, and it's 2 levels away from evolving, and like you might have some rare candies left over to where you can just, boom, instantly get a Flygon, and it's just pretty dope to have a Flygon. I used it in my Let's Play back in 2011. You'll find that you end up using a lot of special attacks on him. He comes with Crunch and Dragon Breath, and he learns TMs like Fire Blast and Giga Drain. You can give him the TM for Earthquake, it's just awkward because Flygon himself is a Pokemon that levitates, and so you almost kind of want him to like be on the field with another Pokemon that has Earthquake. So I don't know. There's an awkward economy there with the Earthquake TM because you only get one. But Flygon does have very good stats, so we do have to respect that. I think C tier is fine. Keep in mind, we're also counting the post-game somewhat. I kind of forgot we were counting post-game, but yeah, with post-game, Granbull and Vibrava, maybe Piloswine become a little more helpful because you just get to use them longer. Okay, finally, Raikou. I think this will be another controversial one. Get to Rain Dance, Leer, Quick Attack, and Thunder. You may have noticed that upon purification, its only attacking moves are Quick Attack and Thunder. Kind of a 0 to 100, it's either all or nothing. Quick Attack, which will do like barely anything, and Thunder, which will do a shit ton if it hits. If you're running a Rain Dance team, like if you have Suicune already, then Raikou obviously very strong. It's just awkward because there's no way to get Thunderbolt on Raikou without grinding out Mount Battle and getting the Poke Coupons for the Thunderbolt TM. His moveset is kind of awkward, but still just by brute force of being a legendary with big stats, I think he ends up in B tier. I think some people might push back on it just because he's not A tier, but I think it makes sense. I think this is another case where, like, keeping in mind that we're weighing the post-game too, like, Raikou could be perfectly useful in the Deep Colosseum if you set up Rain Dance and stuff, so yeah. Okay, we are now in Real Gam. Slim pickings at this point. Sunflora. Sunny Day, Growth, Ingrain, Solar Beam. Sunflora is super slow. He has like a decent special attack. I think he has like 90. I'm not gonna bother to check because nobody cares about Sunflora. I think his abilities are like kind of okay. Chlorophyll and that other one that he has, both pretty good. It's just that Sunflora is so slow that even with Chlorophyll doubling his speed, there's no guarantee that he'll outspeed anything. So he's F tier. I don't know about F minus. Okay, yeah. So I kind of fucked up earlier. F minus is reserved for these guys. NA is like these Pokemon. F minus is for these two. Okay, next up, Delibird, another winner. Blizzard, Attract, Present, and Fly. Notable for being an ice type. One of the only ice types you can catch in Colosseum, along with like Sneasel. Yeah, man, if you want to try and take down Evis's Salamence with Delibird, respect. You can do like combine Furret with Follow Me with Delibird's Blizzard. You got him. He's done. He's dead. Delibird is gonna be F tier. Heracross. Okay, Heracross. I love Heracross. So I mentioned earlier, we had that one playthrough where I tried using Medicham and he just sucked because he had a bad attack stat. So literally, I replaced him with Heracross. And it was a huge improvement. Heracross comes with Reversal, Endure, Counter, and Brick Break. Brick Break is all you need, and I think he gets Mega Horn through level up at like 54, which is pretty much right around the end game. So You get it right when you need it. I will check that real quick, though. Oh, 53. Okay, there you go. The TMs he gets aren't... Oh, he does get Earthquake through TM as well, so if you wanted to, you could save your Earthquake TM for Heracross. But yeah, if you're someone that just likes Heracross because he's cool, then I think it's valid to just wait until this point in the game, because you'll still get to use him in the post game. So, Heracross. Honestly, Heracross would be like an A tier, maybe even like I don't know about S tier, but he would be an easy A tier if you got him at like the beginning. But since he's so late, he's like down here. I don't think he fits in with these guys. He's too good to be with those guys. So, Skarmory, obviously very a big physical tank. Pretty good typing, actually. Steel is just a very good defensive type. It resists everything. Comes with Drill Peck, Metal Sound, Air Cutter, and Steel Wing. Drill Peck and Steel Wing is basically like all the stab coverage you could ever want on him, so it's actually pretty good for that reason. But I don't know, I guess I was just talking up Heracross despite it coming late in the game, but I feel like with Skarmory it's like, okay, now you're really pushing it. You're like right before the real game gauntlet at that point. And B stands for bugs, there you go. Yeah man, I don't know about Skarmory. He's bulky, he'll survive. I could actually see Skarmory being pretty good against Evis in particular, just because Evis uses a lot of physical attackers. Like, I don't think Evis's Slacking can do anything to Skarmory, so that's valid. I don't think I can bring myself to put him any higher than E tier though. Like maybe D tier, but I don't know man, Noctowl can set up Light Screen. What can Skarmory do? Okay, then we get to all the Pokemon you get in like the real game gauntlet before you fight Nascore and Evis. Some of them are actually pretty good. Some of them are not. Let's see, Miltank is first. Stab, Body Slam on Miltank is actually very good, but it's very late in the game at that point, so keeping in mind that F tier is like the floor, I'm going to put Miltank in E tier. Houndoom, or no, Absol is next. Absol, similarly, I think Absol might be F tier. I don't know. It could go either way. Gets Slash, Swords Dance, Feint Attack. Absol has like 130 attack, so big attack. Just you get him very late in the game. I guess you can justify E tier. Houndoom, when you purify him, he gets Flamethrower, so once again, keeping in mind that F tier is literally like the floor, bottom of the barrel, I think Houndoom gets to be E tier. Tropius sucks. When you purify him, he does get Solar Beam, but fucking who cares about Tropius, am I right? Okay. I hope nobody was really looking forward to me reviewing Tropius. You like watched the whole video waiting for me to review Tropius and I just like dismiss it immediately. I think given its doubles, Absol should be F. That's honestly not even a bad point, because he's slow and he's probably gonna get killed by something. It's really hard to set up Swords Dance in like a doubles environment, unless you combo him with the Chad Furret who has Follow Me. Finally, we get to Nascore's Metagross. Metagross is kind of awkward actually, because when you purify him, he gets Hyper Beam, Iron Defense, Metal Claw, and Psychic. He doesn't have like a super good physical attack he can use right off the bat. You're basically just using Hyper Beam, which is really strong obviously, but it's not like Meteor Mash or whatever. Psychic is obviously strong. It's just, I don't know, his moveset is kind of a little awkward I feel like, but if you want to use him to just sweep up in the deep Colosseum or whatever, then I think that's valid. Tyranitar, however, similar deal to Metagross. For some reason, Evis's Tyranitar is like a mix attacker. He comes with Crunch, Thunder, Rock Slide, and Blizzard. My problem with Tyranitar is that he has Sandstream, and in a game that already takes forever because of the animations, like having to watch the Sandstream animation every turn, arguably F- tier, but I'll put him in D tier. Okay, we're almost at the end. Finally, we just have Smeargle and Ursaring. These are two Shadow Pokemon you get right before the Deep Colosseum. Smeargle, I'm not... He comes with Sketch, Tail Whip, Double Slap, and Iron Tail. I'm not interested in doing the mental exercise of figuring out what you could potentially get on him with Sketch, so F-. Ursaring, at least, he comes with Slash, and he has Guts, so F. And that's it. What do we think, boys? I'll put chat back on screen. Isn't Miltank faster than Absol? Oh yeah, Miltank is fast. I kinda want to use garbage Pokemon now. It's funny how that works, right? Because after we did the XD tier list, you know, a year and a half ago or whatever, like I did a low tier run, quote unquote, of XD, and it was a lot of fun. We used Roselia, Pupitar, Fortress, Togetic, and like Kangaskhan. It was actually a really fun playthrough. I feel like, yeah, I don't know, man, the low tier run of Colosseum is pretty cursed, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what you're gonna do with Slugma and, like, I don't know, Gligar and shit. Use the chat for it. Yeah. I think a low tier run of Colosseum, like, you would have to use, like, C and below, because, like, everybody else is too late in the game. So you're gonna use, like, Noctowl and Furret. I don't know, maybe you could go D and lower. I think this is a pretty good list. I'm proud. One thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video, for the YouTube people, is I actually did a revision of the Pokemon XD tier list a long time ago. And I meant to upload it like ages ago, but I just forgot. And I'm still intending to upload it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to dig through like old stream archives to find it. So yeah, probably like in the description to the XD tier list, I'll have like, here's the addendum I made. I know for a fact I boosted Fortress and Dusclops and a couple others. But yeah, I think that might be it for this Colosseum tier list video. If you watched the whole thing, thank you, I appreciate it. Check out our other tier list video of Pokemon XD. You can check out my Let's Play of the game from 2011, or you can check out my other channel where I posted stream archives of one of our Colosseum playthroughs, as well as a couple of our XD playthroughs. But most importantly, check out the Pokemon Reborn playthrough on this channel. That's very important. You gotta do that. Okay, that's it.